Hello YouTube, my name is Agent Omega and I do things. I thought I'd make my return to YouTube via the triumphant fanfare that is the opening of Golden Sun, a game from 2001 on the Game Boy Advance, but is one of my absolute favorites of all time. And because it recently re-released on Nintendo Switch Online, I figured I'd do a playthrough of it and its sequel, Lost Age, and put it on YouTube, get back into the swing of things in 2024. Without further ado, let's get into it. And through the magic of time travel / editing, we are back at the true beginning of the game. If you do not have any save files in Golden Sun, this is what you see on first boot up, the name input screen. Now, before we do anything else, talking about what's been going on, etc., we've got a few orders of business to take care of, and the first two are executing a couple of Easter eggs. Now, the very first one is you input select 3 times, and on the Switch, select is minus, so anytime I say select, I mean minus, but my brain's hardwired for the GBA, so select, 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 and that first beep means that we can rename the 4 principal characters, aka your party members, in this game. Now the next thing we're going to do is input a modified Konami code to be able to rename 3 more of your characters that will carry over to the next game. So that is up, down, left, right, up, right, down, left, up, select. And with the second beep, we can now rename those 3 characters. Before continuing to input the names and move on with the rest of the Let's Play, I also want to ask, should I be reading what the characters are saying on screens? Because I know I've seen Let's Plays where people do that, I've seen Let's Plays where people don't do that. Let me know if I should or should not. I am aspiring to be a professional voice actor, so I would gladly voice the characters if that's what people want, and it might also help out for accessibility. So please leave your preference down in the comments and I will do it as you wish. But for now, this very first recording session, which is going to be about an hour and 30 to an hour and 45 minutes, I might split up this session into smaller episodes that are more bite-sized for your viewing pleasure. But the very first recording session is going to be unvoiced, and then I'll retroactively dub over it if that's what people want. So for now, let's get into name entry as I spin my tale of why I haven't released anything earlier. So, I actually wanted to start this game when it came out on January 16th, because I played this back when it came out in 2001. I think I actually had my GBA in 2002 and got the game then. But the point is, this is a game that I have come back to many times over the years, whether it be on the Wii U Virtual Console or ripping my cartridge for use on the Steam Deck. I continually come back to this game. It's that good. I just like it that much, and it feels like every time I play this game, I learn something new about it. And I was going to start on the 16th, like I said, and I did. I got that hour and 45 minutes in, but then I realized, oh no, my Streamlabs settings were messed up, and I forgot to record the game audio. So it was just an hour and 45 minutes of me talking to myself with no audio, and I would very frequently say oh man, this track is a banger, or let's talk about, the specifics of the recording, and there was nothing there. You can't talk about the music when the music isn't actually there. And so I decided, okay, yeah, I'll just, redo my very first session. And then the week after that, I got sick. So that delayed my progress even further. And then, suffice it to say, I haven't had a chance to record until now, February 6th. So another thing to talk about is that... Oh, hold on. I need to be just a little slower with this. Now, another thing to talk about is that I'm planning on doing some concurrent Let's Plays, and the other thing is going to be the Another Code Recollection, because I played the original games, I played the first game when it was on DS as Trace Memory, And then I managed to import a copy of the sequel, Another Code R, from like Norway or something. And then, I used my homebrewed Wii to play that. And I really want to get into it, especially because I just don't remember the second game very well. I only played it the one time. But Trace Memory was another fantastic game on the DS. So now we're going to get into the story of Golden Sun. And I'm also going to try to be judicious about reading this slowly. I'm used to reading subtitles for like anime, so I've gotten used to speed reading. And these old games, obviously don't have voice acting because you just don't have enough storage and or like resources to be able to play, full like MP3 voiced audio. So, we have these little Animal Crossing-esque bleep blip blips that are common to games of that era and older. And now that we have control over our character again, there are definitely some things that I already know are going to happen like that. So I'm not going into this entirely blind, as I obviously alluded to. I'm just going to go in here real quick. I don't think there's anything of great import here. Yeah. In general, they will keep you out of houses and stuff, but... And I'm just going to blatantly lie to the NPC, because even though I knew he was there, I was not going in there to just, check on him. Now, as you can see, one of the interesting things about this game is that, both is like to interact with stuff, and it brings up your main menu, so that's something I'm gonna have to, really be careful with. I would also heavily advise playing this game using the D-pad as opposed to the stick, just because, obviously that's how you would have played it on a Game Boy Advance, but also because, using the stick tends to make it harder to find that sweet spot for interacting with stuff. Now, as they said there, they were using the power of synergy. That is the official pronunciation. It is synergy, because it's psychic energy, synergy. But for, like, decades, I've been saying it synergy, just like the corporate thing. Like, you have to synergize, synergy. So, if I unintentionally or intentionally say synergy, my sincerest apologies. Now here is an interesting thing. If you are playing Golden Sun, make sure to talk to this guy. Because if memory serves, something doesn't happen if you don't talk to him and convince you to move, or convince him to move. And you want to make sure that you don't think he's going to die. Now, if I have the presence of mind, I will explain why when we get back here. And if I don't have the presence of mind, somebody please remind me, and I'll talk about it when we get back here. Alright, first combat. We have no synergy right now. So the only real things you can do are attack and defend. I really like the combat in this. Like, yeah, sure, it's standard turn-based JRPG, but we get into some really neat classing stuff, and the weapons do some cool things, like, when we get there. I don't expect we're going to be doing much intentional grinding, much less that I will leave on camera, as far as levels go, just because that'd be boring. Nobody wants to see me grinding levels. But there is a non-zero chance that it happens, and I'm definitely going to mention that. I'm going to say when I'm about to cut something out, and, you know, when we've come back from the cut. This is largely going to be around, like, if I'm farming for a weapon, or if I want to grind up some levels, or if we're just traveling on the overworld and not a whole lot is going on besides combat. I think... Oh, wait. Yeah, no, this is fine. I think I might have skipped just a little more boulder rolling action. There's nothing important that was up there. Now, that was an interesting performance hiccup. Now, the first time through here, I remarked that it was weird that Kyle, your dad's hair, happens to have, like, very similar coloration to the boards that he's standing on. And so, when I first walked through, it looked like there was a rendering glitch, but then I realized, oh no, that's not how two-dimensional sprites work, at least not back then. You know, you would have had an actual two-dimensional sprite as opposed to... Anyway, the point is, it just happens to be that he's got a similar hair color, and that's why it looks like he's faded into the wood there. Continuing right along. Now, I do intend for this to be a no-death run, or, you know, no knockouts, whatever. I have pulled it off. Back on the Wii U, I managed to get a no deaths of the first game. And then I did something really dumb. Chat, well, comments section, whatever. I think I overwrote my final save or whatever because I wanted to go back and, like, farm for Kikuichi Monji. I think that's how you pronounce that. I'm gonna have to, you know, double check in editing, but I was farming for a very specific sword, or I wanted to, and I was right before the place where you trigger the final boss battle. And the problem was that the place where you get to the final boss battle is one way. So I'd saved at that one-way location and basically ran back to where I thought I needed to farm, and then I died at some point, or one of my characters died. It wasn't a full party wipe, it was just one of my characters died. And unfortunately, I saved over the completed run where I had actually beaten the final boss without dying. And so right now, this is going to attempt to be my redemption arc. I'm going to try not to grind overly much in order to accomplish that. I am going to do it using, you know, just more class mechanics than I knew back in the past. Now, in these houses, when we get to the next section, there's going to be some books and stuff. And I think I'll probably go back in there just to refresh my mind, but this playthrough, I was paying a lot more attention to the stuff in the houses and learning more about the lore of this world. And it's just really neat that this was in 2001. Which isn't to say that, you know, obviously there's no media from back then that goes into a lot of in-depth world building. It's just mind-boggling that this was on the Game Boy Advance. You know, you've only got so much storage, there's only so much that you can fit in here. And in fact, one of the things is that this game and Lost Age, the sequel, were originally supposed to be one game. But because of storage limitations on the GBA cart, they had to split it into 2 games. And part of me hopes that if they ever do a remake of this game, they do merge it back into one, but that would, you know, take potentially a lot more work. Now this is the part where I'm going to have to put a little asterisk on my no-death run. Now, one thing of note there is that, like a bunch of video games, you can press B to automatically answer no. So sometimes, instead of moving over and selecting no using A, I'll just press B as a shortcut. just for the benefit of viewers that, you know, are looking for the cursor, etc., etc. Oh boy, this is not gonna go well. I almost kind of want to see how long I can last. I'd also like to point out, okay, look at that translation. Death size. That it's Death Scythe. That's a localization thing. That's really funny. Death size. Now, as you can see, I was defending, but you're forced to lose. Even if you cheat and, like, raise yourself to 99.99, give yourself all the synergy in the game, even if you beat them, this defeat thing still triggers. And, that's it. That's the end of the game, folks. Wrap it up. Go home. Of course, I'm kidding. This really messed me up in terms of playing other games, like, I don't know if it was Dark Souls 3 or something else, but I just remember there are some games where I'd fight a ridiculously tough boss, and then I would get my butt handed to me, and I was like, you know, on Death's Door, I'm like, maybe I'm not supposed to beat this fight. Maybe I'm supposed to lose, because Golden Sun has that one fight right at the beginning where you're supposed to lose, and then the game continues, right? And time after time, I will be surprised when you're supposed to be able to win a fight, or supposed to last a certain amount of time in a fight. And then I get good and, you know, I beat the fight, but this game really screwed up my ability to judge when you're supposed to lose and when you're supposed to win. Now, I'm gonna lie again, because out of character, I know that things would play out exactly the same because people have hacked the game and yada yada, we've already been over this. But I'm gonna say yes anyway, because Robin doesn't know that. Alright, now the first thing we're going to do in our quest to see just about everything we can is we're going to start at the bottom of town, because that's a place that not many people, I think, go in the beginning of the game, and, like, I mean, immediately after you get the second, like, once you get through the prologue, basically. And I'm going to go get some better armor. Now, we don't have any artifacts just yet, I don't think. Yeah, we don't. And unfortunately, we don't quite have enough money to buy any weapons, but our characters are now more armored. And what I meant to do while we're down here is we're not going to go to the inn. Well, maybe we are. Let's see what's in here, besides just the rest opportunity. I want to see if there are any readable books. Oh, right, I forgot about this. Alright, I guess while we're looking around to see what kind of lore we can find, then we'll go ahead and start talking about where I've been. So I think the last video I made was like 2022, maybe? 2021, somewhere in that general time zone. Now, the thing is, I was having issues, trying to keep up with work and all the social obligations and stuff that I had planned on a weekly basis, yada yada. Come on, let me read the book. I'm guessing this bookshelf just can't be read because of how it's positioned. But anyway, so I was busy with a lot of stuff, and time just kept getting away with me. I would think of a series that I wanted to do, and I just wouldn't have the time or the energy to be able to do it due to a lot of extenuating circumstances, and eventually I hit burnout. Okay, so maybe I could have read the other book. But the point is, I was in a kind of an unsustainable situation. So I have a fair amount of savings. I decided that I would move back with my parents. And because I couldn't work remotely with my old position, I decided to quit my job. And I'm also trying to change careers to be a professional voice actor. And in addition to that, I want to be releasing YouTube videos on a more regular basis. So between this and the concurrent Another Code R, not Another Code R, that's the name of the sequel, Another Code Recollection, we are going to try to release more frequently and, get some more content out there. And I would be pleasantly surprised if we... Wait, do I not have the catch beads yet? I don't have the catch beads yet. Yes, that comes later. But I figured I'd try to get back into the practice of releasing content more regularly, and who knows, maybe I get some money out of that. But for now, I've got enough savings to go quite a while without a conventional job, as long as, the economy stays roughly as it is. And that means that I'll have a lot more time to do stuff for YouTube. I'm also hoping to find some creative mojo and get back into Space Engineers or Minecraft. Probably modded Minecraft, not gonna lie. And, just get a lot more content that I think people will like out here. But Golden Sun, it's one of my oldest favorite games, and I thought people would potentially enjoy this. especially as I rediscover things that I may have forgotten. The funny thing is, knowing what I know about what their errand is more important, but technically kickstarts with our errand, so... This has been Golden Sun Session 1, Part 1 by Omega Does Things. Part 2 will release on Tuesday, February 13th. Please leave a comment if you'd like me to voice the lines on screen or anything else you'd like to see in this Let's Play. If you're new to the channel and would like to see the rest of this series, hit that subscribe button and click the bell to be notified. Thanks for watching. I will catch you on the flip side.